Maybe first go to yourself, Giacomo. You're the policy officer of the Bioenergy Europe, which is the European representative body for the solid biomass value chain across the European Union. I know you're a specialist in the heating and cooling sector with the focus on sustainability of biomass heating technologies in the residential and district heating sectors, and you have a wide range of expertise in this particular area. So maybe do you want to explain what does Bioenergy Europe do as on behalf of members? And we're a very active member of Bioenergy Europe, and we have some members here today who are also active members. So maybe just explain what you do and your organisation.
Yes, sure. Good afternoon. Bioenergy Europe vocation mission is very similar to IrBEA's. We are an association. We gather different types of members, from companies to national associations, as well as research centers and universities. Our action focuses basically on advocacy. Let's say under the advocacy umbrella, we monitor EU policies, and also we try to influence EU legislation. Also we focus on communication. We have recently developed a new communication strategies for solid biomass. We also have a department, a market intelligence department, that collects data of several markets, especially the pellet market, but not only. And with all the data collected, we release every 2 months statistical reports. We also organize these events and working groups where with our members we just dialogue, and we keep our members updated on the recent developments of EU legislations. And let me also grab the occasion to invite you at our conference, National Conference, that will take place in November, the 28th and the 29th of November in Brussels, which is called ABF, the European Bioenergy Future. That said, yeah, we are based in Brussels, of course, and Bioenergy Europe was founded in 1990. I just wanted to say also that we are not only focused on the European level, but we have also members from outside of the EU, especially from the United Kingdom, but also from the US, from Canada. That's to say that our focus is not only EU legislation, but also all the aspects, the international aspects of the EU legislation. So.
Okay, and maybe to move it on then, a similar question, I suppose, in terms of the solid biomass to the question of what we've gone through in terms of biomethane. So what are the main developments in the EU market, maybe particularly around pellet and solid biomass? And then are there major differences across the EU markets? And what's your sense of the Irish market?
The Irish market, yes.
In terms of development, in terms of future?
Yeah. So let's say that in policy terms, the situation for solid biomass, it's not all roses, but there's still room for improvement, and that's also what Bioenergy Europe stands for. Let's say that at best, solid biomass is neglected by European institutions, and at worst, European institutions try to impose restrictions on feedstock, which is something that concerns. But here we are to tackle this. Just to give you an example, maybe you're familiar, or also Anna already spoke about the NZIA, the Net Zero Industry Act. And it's still a proposal, and the European institutions are debating on that. And within the Net Zero Industry Act, there is a list of net zero strategic technologies, which is a status that enables, let's say, the facilitation in terms of administrative procedures, and also facilitation for investments, and actually biomass was excluded. Sustainable biomass was excluded, while sustainable biogas and also biomethane were included in the list. So we are now trying to push in order to include biomass in this sustainable biomass in this list of technologies and sources. Just to give you another example, maybe you're more familiar with, during the negotiation on RED III that ended basically in March 2023, a significant force inside of the parliament tried to impose restrictions on feedstock, on wood, yes, on feedstock, but eventually this didn't go through, and actually also biomass was recognized as a key role for the future and for the European energy mix.
And just as a follow-on and maybe a final question, you've outlined some of the challenges facing solid biomass at a European level. So we are getting a sense of how biomass is viewed within the EU institutions, but would you like to maybe elaborate maybe a bit more on that? And also, is there anything we can do to try and change that?
Yes, as I already introduced, the main challenge for the development of sustainable biomass policies is the approach of European institutions. If we start from the Commission basically lacks expertise in the forestry sector and in the biomass sectors. Then moving to the Parliament, we can say that the Parliament is divided between a supportive side, which is composed by the ECR, ID, and EPP. I think you're all familiar with these. These are basically the abbreviation of the political parties, the European political groups. And on the other side of the coin, there are some, let's say, environmental counterforces that are really pushing against the development of sustainable policies in terms of sustainable biomass and targets. And here we have the left and also the Greens. Let's say also that SNDs and Renew Europe, they don't have a clear and definite standing as a political party. So we also Bioenergy Europe in his action is focused a lot on those parties, political groups that are in the middle, and also. Here, coming to the last question, it's that we need massive support from Irish civil society. We need it, especially as I already told, to reach out to MEPs, especially those that have a moderate standing, not clear, strong opinion. And then also, also we need you to help us in reaching out national governments, because national governments not only adopt national legislation, but they are part of the Council of the European Union, and so they adopt also European legislation. So whether you have contacts with the Irish national governments and ministers, we met this morning, the Minister for Environment. Please reach out to them and help us, especially help us educate them, because most of the time we see that politicians don't really understand in deep what is actually biomass and which are the assets of biomass. And it happens a lot that when we talk about energy neutrality, emission neutrality, they just don't understand it, and if they don't understand it, if they don't know, it's also difficult to try to influence the legislation in our favor.
Okay.
let's say.
Well, thanks very much, Giacomo, for giving us that analysis from Brussels on the solid biomass, and I think a lot of the things that you're saying resonate with us here in terms of the approach as well. And